Remember when we talked about Russell Westbrook possibly being traded to the Houston Rockets, and how bad of a fit would that be if they had 3 point guards? Not just because 3 all-star caliber players would play essentially the same position, but also because of the personalities and problems that would happen eventually. Forget about that. Westbrook is a Rocket. We'll see how it does with James Harden. You know, both of them needing the ball, Westbrook not being able to really play off the ball. We'll get to that after we see at least the first month of the season. But there's one more big time, at least a couple of years ago a big time player waiting to be moved. And that's Chris Paul. Besides the draft picks, the Houston Rockets had to unload the CP3 contract in the Westbrook trade. OKC could obviously swallow that contract and let CP3 just play, but that doesn't make sense for any of the sides. So the logical thing is to try to trade him, but who would take on that awful contract, and which team actually can do that? Well, there is only one real option here, and that's the Miami Heat. Miami Heat was heavily involved in all the Russell Westbrook rumors, and they did try to trade for him, but reportedly turned down a trade that would have sent their rookie and other good young players to OKC. And that was a smart move, to be honest. Now they have their eyes set on another point guard, the one OKC just traded for, Chris Paul. I think he's a good fit in Miami. First of all, he should be a lot cheaper to get than Westbrook. Both of them are on big contracts, but Westbrook is arguably still in his prime while CP3 is clearly out of it. OKC shouldn't ask for a lot, as they would be giving away a pretty horrible contract. So the Miami Heat in reality shouldn't lose a lot of assets. Secondly, Miami Heat have to make a move. Right now they're in kinda no man's land. They signed Jimmy Butler with an intention to win, but besides Butler they don't have any other proven veteran or an all-star to guarantee that they would win. That leaves them into an interesting place somewhere in the middle of the Eastern Conference. They're good enough to compete, but not good enough to contend. Getting Chris Paul would help a lot. He's a much better fit next to Jimmy Butler, still can play the game of basketball at a high level, and it kinda would keep things very interesting in the East. You have Milwaukee with Giannis and Middleton, Boston with Kemba and Tatum, Philadelphia with Simmons and Embiid, Brooklyn with Kyrie and KD. Adding more stars to the East would greatly help the conference. Thirdly, this would help Chris Paul keep himself relevant. Miami is a great place to be in, and the Heat are a first-class organization from top to bottom. They have a great ownership, a great GM, a very good coach, and a structure. Plus, with Jimmy Butler there as well, you have a great chance to win the East, especially since Brooklyn will be without KD for most, if not the whole year. And lastly, nobody else can or should realistically trade for him. There are two types of teams around the league. One, either your cap is full, you have a team you want and you can't trade for Chris Paul, or you have cap space but are a young team that's not close to winning and don't really need to pay that much money to a guy that ultimately won't help you get anywhere. Chris Paul has never been that superstar who sells a bunch of tickets, makes the fans scream, and so on and so on. He was a great player, now still is a good player, albeit with a dry market around him. Thanks for watching, guys. Do you agree that Chris Paul will be traded to Miami and it is his real option? What can CP3 bring to your team besides mental fatigue? Please be sure to leave a comment with your thoughts. Don't forget to leave a like for the video and press that subscribe and bell button to always know what's happening on this channel. Thank you. This was Purple Prince, and I'm out.